Welcome back to Hampture. This project has been going on since, I want to say, summer of 2010. And I've accomplished a great deal in that time, I feel, if you would call the acts of a complete lunatic accomplishments. Built a bunch of different prototype habitats. I've perfected the current design. One of the reasons why MegaHab has taken so long, though, is because MegaHab will not fit in an aquarium. It has to go in a natural body of water because of the size. And I'll never build a habitat bigger than MegaHab because it's at the upper limit of what I can personally lift and transport, like with my body. But because of that, because it has to go in a natural body of water, it needs its own power source. And that, surprisingly, has been the biggest single cost sink of the project, just investing money into a means of powering even a simple aquarium air compressor off-grid indefinitely. Now here's the compressors I've used. This is my deep water air pump. This will push air down 8 feet. This is the one that I use when the habitat's in the aquarium. This will push air down only 2.5 feet. However, it has its own built-in battery backup, which is why I use it when I'm running on grid power. So if there's a power outage, that the air keeps flowing. The nice thing about this one is it's actually 2 pumps in one housing. There's two outputs on here. There's a pump here and a pump here. So if one of them fails, as long as they're both tied in the same line, the air keeps flowing, which is why I think there might be 2 in this one. I'm not sure. I'll have to open it up because there's 2 outputs on here as well. If not, then I'm going to get 2 pumps because having your life critical systems be redundant, at least doubly redundant, if not triply, is really, really important, and something even NASA does. So in order to figure out how to power one or the other of these off-grid indefinitely, I needed to figure out how much energy they use in an hour, multiply that by 24 for how much energy they use in a day, and then come up with something that can produce enough power to keep it running all day and all night, at least for like 2 or 3 days, in case there's a cloudy day, because I plan to power this off solar. I had delusions at one point of powering this off of a water turbine, like a current turbine, which would have been really cool, but there's really nothing on the market that will do the job that isn't thousands of dollars. There's one that's like $1,200 that I could put in a river, and that would generate all the power I need, but it's way too expensive. So I got this. This is a 500 watt hour lithium ion battery in a nice enclosure, which I keep about 50% charged at all times, because that's 40 to 50% is where lithium batteries like to stay in storage. As you can see, I've got power coming into it. There's 40 watts coming into it right now. That's actually coming from the panels. That's supposedly a 102 watt array, but you don't get anywhere near that input unless they're like angled precisely towards the sun and all conditions are perfect. It came with that carrying bag. But yeah, basically this only needs to generate more power than the pump uses after accounting for conversion inefficiencies. And the internet, according to the internet, which of course has always been a reliable source of information for me, why would I doubt it, this uses 7.5 watts per hour. So having done the math, I think on just one full charge of this will run for about 66 hours, which is ample. It's more than I need, assuming I only ever use this during the summer. But let's verify how much it draws. And switch this on. Is this on or not? Oh yeah, I have to do this. And the pump is running. Can you hear that? Of course you can. How much is it using? 4 watts. 5 here. Okay, it's creeping up. It's creeping up. 30 watts. Okay, that was just a bad reading. So about 6 or 7 watts. which is between 6 and 9 watts, which is what I expected. And it's actually not even working against a pressure differential here. So to get a really accurate reading, I would need to have 8-foot deep water that I could put this into. But I guess I could simulate that just by putting my finger over the outputs. Oh, that makes it go down, not up. What the fuck? Well, I'll need to figure out some way to simulate water pressure so that the pump can work against water pressure, but I don't think it could possibly outstrip the amount of energy that's coming into the battery. So basically, I have what I need for a life-critical system here, which is overkill. I don't want to run a risk of, like, I could do everything off of this, but then this is a relatively small battery that will only keep the pump running for like 7 or 8 hours on the highest setting, or up to 14 on medium, I believe. Well, I mean, it only has high and low, but so I guess 14 on low. But it's looking like this is going to be plenty. If I were to be irresponsible and build a system that would only barely keep the pump running 24/7, I wouldn't feel good about it, because this is going to need to be grid independent and sort of foolproof. It's going to need to run all the time without me being there to monitor it. I have concerns about theft. I don't like the fact that it's bright orange. People can see it, and there's a lot of homeless around here, so they might see the expensive battery pack and solar panel. It's already gone up by 1%, despite the load of the pump on it. And just steal the shit and then pawn it for meth. So that's a concern. I guess I could just put trash bags around it and make it look like a trash bag full of stuff they don't want to mess with or something. I don't know what to do about the solar panels. I can't really hide those. I'd have to find somewhere to stick those up on something that's tall so that you can't see them from ground level, and then conceal the wire somehow. But this is the life support system as it stands. One concern, of course, is that there's no second power outlet. So that raises the question of how am I going to power the heated floor of the habitat. I guess I could just get a splitter or a power strip. I don't really want anything that's going to complicate it because of rain. I need to put this inside a rain-proof container anyways. So yeah, I'm just going to get a splitter. It's not going to draw too much. It's already barely drawing anything. So I probably bought more battery than I needed, and I probably bought more solar than I needed. I could probably power everything needed off of a much smaller solar array. It's just, you know, when the lives of little furry critters are on the line, you don't really want to half-ass it, because it's going to be fucking heartbreaking if you let them down. And so far I've avoided any tragedies just by testing the habitats for 72 hours, but I've never operated them. I've only operated them away from the grid once, and that was on a lead-acid battery and I just sat there for a couple hours watching it, and then it did run overnight. I did let it run overnight, but I was there early in the morning to check on it. So I can't sit there and watch it all day is the issue. You know, I wish I could. I wish I had that kind of free time, which I'm probably giving the impression that I have a great deal of free time now that I'm building a fucking hamster city. But let's see what the other one draws, just for fun. Apparently that's my definition of fun. I really need to get out more. This is about as outside as I've gotten in many weeks. Let's turn it on low. Only between 1 and 3 watts. I saw 5. I'm just gonna keep pushing the button, however annoying that is. Gets as high as 6. What happens if I turn on high? Goes up. Okay, that's erroneous. That's a bad reading. It goes up as high as 9. So similar to the other one, which is strange because This pump does not push air down nearly as far. The big advantage with this one, of course, is the battery backup. But I felt that was pointless for the... It was fine that this one doesn't have it because it's running off of a battery anyway. It's not like I have the grid to back it up, so if the battery runs out, having a second battery isn't really going to solve the problem. I may as well just expand the size of the main battery, but it's already tremendous overkill. Basically, all I need to do is visit the site once a day and take a look at the meter. And as long as that's staying healthy and keeping up there, close to full, then there's no problem. If there's a cloudy day, I need to go out and look at it and see how it's doing. But I think I made a good call here. I think this is going to do the job.